Okay. Here, Power BI has some individual tool as well. At some stage, you will gonna understand those things. And Excel has some individual tool as well. Are you guys clear? So this is more like a Venn diagram. I guess this arrows are not perfectly combining the results. So there are some common part as well. There are some uncommon part as well. We call it as they both share the same analytical engine backed by Microsoft. So that's where they have been some common tools as well. But more likely when you're using those tools, you understand that why Microsoft has given Power BI as an advantages for dashboard making and for calculation and advanced things. Excel has a great advantage over Power BI. Is it clear? Like Excel is more likely dealing with spreadsheet works. Here Power BI is more likely dealing with tools for visualization or dashboard. Are you guys clear? Yes, no? One means clear. We'll discuss this. Everything will gonna cover it. Don't worry. Okay. Now let's go back, little back. In the Power BI, we are dividing into two parts. One is backend. What do you mean by backend, or what exactly the tools available in the backend? Let's try to read. So in the backend, we have a basic of Power Query Editor. And what is the use of it? It transforms raw data or it transform data to make it clean. Is it clear? Yes, no? Simple one. In the backend, we have only one technology or tool which is called as Power Query Editor. I'll give you the hint when we are doing it. And this is where we are creating the results. On the other hand, we have another part comes up, which is nothing but we call it as what? There are three tools being available. There are three tools being available here. One is report view. Okay. Report view is helpful for creating a dashboard. Okay. I'll give you the difference between dashboard and report as well. Or should I give you it right now? Do you have the idea of what exactly the difference between dashboard or a report? One means you know, zero means you don't know. Simply, quick. Zero means you do not know, just write it zero if you do not know. It's not that harm to say zero. Okay, no issues. So report view is where you are creating a dashboard slash report. Okay, I'll give you the difference. Then we have something called as table view or data view, which helps you to show the data. It helps you to show the data in tabular format. Okay. Tabular format, or we call it as structured data. It's dealing with structured data, showing all the structured data. Last and the important one is model view. Use for building relationship relationships between multiple tables. Okay, how many of you have gone through with the SQL first? Let me know so that I can guide you much more in depth. Have you all guys gone with the SQL concepts? Yes means you know SQL. No means you do not know SQL. Easy one. One means you know. Rahul says no. Okay. So those who know, just can you confirm you have that idea of what exactly the schema is? Those who do not know, don't worry, I'll teach you different way. But those who know, I'll just give you the example of schema. What exactly the schema or a database is? In that database, or a schema is more like a structure of a database. Okay. We have multiple tables. Yes, we have multiple table, this, table, this. Let me copy it this way. We have multiple tables. Okay, those who don't know, they have the basic idea like database is nothing but a collection of tables. Yes, no? You know this thing, I guess. It's a basic idea of database is nothing but a collection of tables. At some stage, what does this model view is actually giving you a sense that model means here you wanted to connect some tables. We are always working on a relational database. Yes, no? Think about it. What exactly the relational database is? Relational database says that you wanted to store in informations in different individual table, and when you require those things, you can club them up. Yes, when you require those things, you can club them up, but only you can club up when you have a relationship exist, which is because of primary key and a foreign key. Let's talk about this. What exactly this model view is? It's build a relationship between multiple tables, and how they are building the multiple tables. Some of you have the idea like using primary key and a foreign key. Everybody knows primary key and a foreign key. You recently completed with a like SQL, I guess. Those who completed with the SQL, please confirm. Those who do not know, I'll give you different examples, but those who can relate, they can relate it easily. So you know how we are building a relationship. You have understand the concept of joins. In that joins, you have seen that there is requirement of a primary key and a foreign key to connect different tables to get a lot more bigger insights when you have a primary key and a foreign key to join using on constraint. Yes, yes, pretty confirm. Everybody knows that. Now the schema or a database or how the model view actually works, think about this way, where you have table, table A, table B, table C, table D, anything, and you wanted to merge the tables with the help of primary key or a foreign key. Let's suppose I wanted to merge these two tables. For merging these two tables, we required a relation that needs to be exist. I wanted to merge these two tables. I can merge it. If there is an existence of a primary key or a foreign key, we can merge it. Getting a point? Quick. How the relationship exists, we're gonna discuss it. But this is very crucial in terms of your interview. Model view is being asked. A lot of questions will be asked. We'll discuss later on, don't worry. So shall we jump into the visualization? How does this things works? So let me bring the reference note as well so that in parallel I can use that so that I can in a good flow. All the things we're gonna cover it later on. So we have plenty of things to come up. You can see that as I'm scrolling, you can see a lot of concepts going to be covered up. Okay, this lecture notes I've created when I've been recorded the content for a different country. I've been like delivered this Power BI content. Let me just give you a brief idea. I've been in this field for more than 5-7 years, like almost 5 years. I've been giving a edtech field a give lot of things to them, and I've recorded one course recently for UAE citizens, UAE public for Power BI end to end. So that's where I've been like ready with this lecture notes. So this lecture notes, I'm going to use it for your reference as well, so that we do not have much wastage of time while writing. It's take a lot of time when I'm writing the things parallel to it. So I'll take this reference and guide you properly. Is it clear? So let's buckle up the speed and let's try to understand how does this thing going on. So we're gonna start with this only. I'll skip some of the like lecture notes which I'm going to speak it, so it would be there. And I paste some of the things in your notebook directly so that you have a better idea how things gonna work. So today we're gonna cover this much of knowledge. So I'm copying it and pasting it somewhere here. Okay. Now it's just you just need to refer it and let's try to understand each one of the concepts well. Shall we start? Shall we start? Quick, yes. Okay. So when we start with Microsoft Power BI, it's a self-service tool that is used for a business intelligence platform, which includes both desktop version and a web-based applications for connecting, modeling, and visualizing data. Let's try to understand this part. Like Microsoft Power BI has two references. Okay. The web-based application is so boring and it would not give you much intuitive like user interface. It is like a dump one, which is not being useful at any cost of time. The reason is it have not have the basic features being available. So that's why we always go for a desktop versions, and this desktop versions has pretty good features even in a free version as well. Do not require any paid versions to come up. You can build a lot more good analysis or a dashboard with a free version as well. They are being used for what? This application is used for three major things. One is connecting, another is modeling, and another is visualizing data. What does it mean? Connecting means you wanted to fetch the multiple source of data from various informations being coming up from multiple platforms. What do you mean by that? Connecting is a part of an integration where you wanted to bring the information from various platforms. Right now, if you observe this thing, if I just give you the idea here, see this. In my GitHub, I've been uploading with this calendar lookup CSV file, customer lookup CSV file, product category lookup CSV file. So much data is being there. We first need to download all the data into our local system and then import the data to the Power BI so that we can clean it and we can use it for analysis. It's pretty easy, pretty clear that we're going to use this data. That's why we are come up here to make a project like this. We need to connect the data to the Power BI. How my Power BI brings the data? It doesn't have the data by itself. It needs to come up with the data with some source. So when you go to the Power BI, you have this option in the home. Okay, this is like a project that we're gonna do it. In reference, if you wanted to take, we'll take it. In the end, we're gonna build this one. Okay. For time being, if you go to the home page, I'll keep you like familiar with all the tools and technology and the feature being provided in the Power BI. Don't worry. So just try to observe what it's share here. I'm just marking it somewhere here. This is a home option being given. Like a little bit of zoom so that you can have the clarity what exactly this being coming up from. Okay, I'm not putting the screenshot, otherwise it's like flow, it's break the flow of the notes. So see this, what does this line exactly means? Connecting. Connecting means, basic idea that connecting means guys, connecting means bringing the data to the platform. How to connect it? See this, there is an option called as get data. In the get data, we can connect or integrate Excel workbook directly to fetch the information from an Excel workbook. We can use Power BI semantic models. We can use data flows, Dataverse, SQL Server, analytical services, analysis services. We can import the data from text or CSV file. Web means importing a data from a website, fetching a information or a raw tabular format from a website. Or data feed, blank query means you wanted to insert the data manually. You click on more. When you click on more, observe it. How many tools we can connect it with? How many tools? There are n number of tools that we can connect. These are like a platform. Okay, and we just need to connect. We cannot go much more in depth of understanding each one of laptop. Like there is no necessity of it when you do like when you're doing the work through the industry, you will have that familiarity being coming up. The more and the major thing that we're gonna explore is web-based, how we can fetch the information from a website. Second, we're gonna understand how we can connect a text CSV or an Excel workbook. The reason we wanted to use that majority of the time, if you see my data set being given, all of the data set has having CSV format. Okay, so more likely we are just fetching the information from a CSV. Okay, so that would be a searchable place. So don't worry, we'll discuss later on. But are you guys connected with this line connecting? When you say connecting, connecting means bringing the data from multiple source. One means you are clear with this first. I'll break the things more in depth so that you have an understanding going on. Quick. One means you are clear with this word connecting. Then comes the word modeling. Modeling is being used. The reason for using a modeling is to connect or build a relationships between multiple tables in a schema or a database. The reasons to store or being useful for a relational database. You have gone through with a word like this, RDBMS, like majority of your SQL server works on a RDBMS. It's nothing but relational database management system. Confirm if you know this thing. Relational database management system. Confirm if you know this. Your MySQL, your PostgreSQL, most of your SQL server works on this bit. Why we required this RDBMS to comes into existence? Have any idea? Think about this way. when you are storing the information in a single table, let's suppose there is no concept of RDBMS going on. We wanted to store the information in a single table. What happens? What happens, guys, when you store all the informations, all the tables are being merged and being stored here. What happens, guys? Think about it. What we gonna happen with this ideology when all the things come up in a single table? We call it as a merge table. Now imagine if we have all the columns are being coming when we are writing a query. Merge table having all the columns, unnecessary column as well. We do not want that. And we wanted to build it. If every like product table, sales table, customer table, every three tables are being merged in a single table. And you're running a query. When you're running a query, you are calling unnecessary column. That is not it's a waste of time. No, it's a waste of time. So when you are working on a merge table, you are using a high computational power. Yes, easy one. High computational power. Your system requires a high system configuration, high computational power, and less efficient to run the query. Why it is less efficient? As it is time consuming. You are bringing unnecessary column to work on, which are not being useful when you are doing analysis. It's a waste of time. Rather than that, if you have three tables, let's suppose this is being merged with three tables: product table, customer table, and another table which is what we say product table, customer table, and a sales table. These three tables can also be used to merge at some stage, bringing a necessary column. Instead of calling unnecessary one, you can bring necessary column out of it. Yes, no? Guys, quick yes or no? Having an understanding of it. So we never ever believe in this system where we are storing all the information in a single table and running a query out of it. Not being a useful thing. Not being a useful thing. What will be the best thing? The best thing comes up when you are storing information in a different table, and with that table, you are configuring the table to merge it at some stage when you require that tables to get an insights. Merge the table whenever required. Otherwise, it's already being demerged. Different tables, this table and this table, whenever I wanted to get an insight, I merge them. When I'm done with the insights, I'm being losing it just because it's already being demerged. But when I'm dealing with this one, it's not possible to demerge. And getting the insights on it would not be easy just because unnecessary columns are there. And with that unnecessary column, you would be having high computational power would be required and less efficient to run a query. Are we guys clear? So that's why every time you will be recommended to store the information in a different table and then merge them up with a relationship. If I wanted to show you what exactly the model view can do, just click on this model view. Okay, see this. This is a table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4, table 5. Multiple tables will be there and you are just connecting them up with the help of relationship. If you observe, let's suppose I'm just giving you this one. So if you see customer key is here, just see this customer key here and customer key there. So here in the sales record, customer key is being coming. Single customer has buying multiple items. So it's a customer key. Yes. Think about this way that the customer key in the sales record are being the one that are keep on coming in a same transactional record. My customer is the one which is uniquely identified in the customer lookup table. Are you guys getting it or not? Let me know. Don't be get confused. It's very easy. Just try to observe this way. Like customer key on the customer lookup table is a unique entry. Unique entry means in the customer lookup table, the customer key is having a unique entry. That means the customer comes up as a unique person and they are being entered as a single name. And this customer key is refining a unique identity of the customer number. Like you being an employee, you being a student, you have been given a student ID, employee ID as a unique representation of what you are. So the customer lookup table, this customer key needs to be unique. Yes, no? In the customer lookup table, this customer keys needs to be unique that represent each customer as an individual entity. On the other hand, the sales record, the customer can buy multiple products. So on day 1, he has bought something. On day 10th, he has bought something. On day 100th, he has bought something. So he comes up in my data set 3 times. So repetition can always be there just because in a transactional record, a same customer can buy 100 products at 100 different dates. So here in this, the customer key needs to be repeated. In this, the customer lookup table having a customer key is unique. But in my sales transactional record, the customer can buy on day 1, day 10th, day 100, day 1000th, or any day he comes up. Same key needs to be defining that customer, and that same key is being repeated. That's why if you see this idea, the relationship between this customer key and this customer key is showing you the one to many cardinality. If you observe it, okay. If you're not able to observe it, we'll discuss it on its advanced concept little bit. So I'm just dropping it here, just somewhere here. Just try to see what exactly does it build. If I just zoom it for you, just see this. This customer key, see this customer key and this customer key is being here. Here the customer key is acting as a foreign key. Here the customer key is acting as a foreign key. And here the customer key is acting as a primary key. This you know, I guess. This is not like you do not know. This is, you know, guys. Now the foreign key has the right to being repeated. Primary key, what is the goal of primary key? Basic idea. Primary key cannot be not null. You know this thing. In a SQL, it's being clearly mentioned that primary key cannot be null. And primary key is unique in nature. You all know these things. Foreign key, on the other hand, something being considered as being repeated. Now, if you observe, this is a case of observation. Now, if you observe, can you see this is a building a relationship between customer key and customer key being highlighted? Here the customer key is 1. 1 means unique. Here it's being showing star. Star means many values come up. So the relationship that builds between this customer table with this sales transactional table, the relationship that builds is nothing but one to many. Are you guys getting it? This is one to many relationship going on. Are you guys getting it? Try to observe. I'll repeat, don't worry, I'll repeat. No issues. See this. What I've said, come up with a previous topic that I've been started. We never ever find an insight from a single table having stored all the informations in a single table. We call it as a merge table. You cannot run a query. The reason is the table that is being coming from a merge table having all the columns that is being coming is an unnecessary column when you're writing a query. It's because some columns you do not need. But when you're writing a query, you are taking it or you're working on an advanced table which is not being useful. That's why when you are applying a join, you apply a join on different tables using on constraint with the build of primary key and a foreign key that they can connect. Otherwise, they won't be connect. If there is a existence of a primary key and a foreign key, then only you can connect. And when you run a query using join, using on constraint, in the on constraint, you're using primary key and a foreign key to connect. Once you are done with your query, you do not need to demerge the table. It's already been demerged. When you're using a query, you are merging it up using join. Remember it. You have a different tables stored in a database. Whenever you require to merge those tables, you're merging it using join, getting an insight, and you're done. You do not need to demerge it just because it's already being demerged. Yes, no, Tanmay, Ashay, it's already being demerged. But when you are running a query on a merge table, it's have all the columns coming up. You cannot demerge. It's a merge table. No. That's where when I say it's taking a high computational power to run a query on a merge table and it is less efficient. Why it's less efficient? Just because it's time consuming. On the other hand, what exactly the model view will do it in the Power BI is you have multiple tables. This is table 1, this is table 2, this is table 3 and so on. This is table 1, table 2. This is a transactional table which is having customer key present, and this is a lookup table. Lookup table I'll teach you when you have an idea. You have an idea. Consider this as a customer table, which is a unique customer table will store only the unique customer that present only once. Let's suppose think about it as an Amazon. When you sign up, you are being a new customer. When you sign up on Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, any platform, you being a new customer, so your entry would be added to the customer table. Your entry would be added to the customer table and you will be assigning some unique code at the system behind the scene. Getting a point? When you enter to a store, Walmart, when you enter to a store, Big Bazaar, When you enter to a store, Reliance, anywhere, you being a first customer, your new entry would be coming up with some unique customer key we provided. When you buy one time, it's okay. When you buy n number of times, your customer key is already being assigned now. Your customer key is already being provided to you. It's keep on repeating and it's keep on coming on the transactional record. Are you guys getting it? Once you are coming to the company or once you are coming to a customer like a brand, any store that you go for, you being assigned with one customer key when you come up only for the new user. As you are new user, you will be assigned with customer key. If you as an existing user, your customer key already being assigned. No. If you are purchasing anything n number of times, day 1, day 10th, or any day, you purchase it with the same customer key, no? Until unless you have changed your number or something else. Yes, no? So this customer key and this customer key, what is the difference between it? In the customer lookup table, this customer key is unique. What do you mean by that unique? You being entered only one in this table and your identity is being taken care. If I go to the table, just for your reference, if I go to the table view, when I say table view, just try to understand table view will give you all the tabular format, data in a tabular format. So let's go to we'll import all these things. Okay, don't worry. Go to this. We have some unique customer key. They never get repeated. We have this first name, last name, like Shannon Carlson, Jesse Liu, like Ruben Kapoor, and Joy Rana, Jard Suri, and all this thing. Okay. So these are like random data set being coming up. Okay. So you will see these entries where your birthday has been mentioned, your marital status has been taken care, your gender has been defined, your email address has been defined, your annual income has been taken care, this total children, education level, what is your occupation, what is your homeowner, your parents. These are the things that we have covered in the later stage. So this much of information is being given. Can we store all this information on a transactional table as well? It's an unnecessary column. We only want, if you go to the sales data now, just observe it. Just try to observe. If I go to the sales data, do I have the customer name present anywhere? This is my table. Do I have the customer name, customer address, customer occupation, customer annual income being there in the sales transaction records? No. Why no? They are unnecessary columns. We can bring them up at any stage of time, but we do not bring it right now. We only reference this customer key that gives us the identity that there is some customer coming up that can buy the product. And with this unique code, I can go 21193. I can go to the customer table and find that customer 21193. I find that customer 21193. 21193. I need to search. Okay, I can find that customer. Are you guys clear with this thought? So what exactly I wanted to say here, if you observe, this table and this table are being connected, this table and this table are being connected with a primary key and a foreign key. But why there is a relational required? When we are storing a table, having a merge table, there are unnecessary columns coming up. Even if you see in the customer key, this customer has its lot of names like customer full name, customer priority. These are the things that we have created. Don't worry. Okay, customer key being connected with this customer key, and here this customer key is foreign key which can be repeated. When you say repeated, it means the same customer can buy different products at different time interval, but their customer key can be same. So it's being repeated in the table. This customer key, if a same customer is buying 10 times in a year, the customer key needs to be repeated 10 times. Easy one. That's why if you see the relationship, one means here the customer key is unique. Many or a star means here the customer key is repeated. So that's why the relationship that builds between these two tables is nothing but one to many cardinality. Cardinality I'll teach you in a later stage when I teach you the normalization concepts and all. That will be very much asked in an interview. So we need to be ready with that. Till this point, are you guys clear? How the relationship being built? Yes, no? Quick yes. So connecting is bringing out the data. Modeling means you wanted to build a relationships between multiple tables. And lastly, visualizing data means you wanted to bring a data in a report view where you are converting the data to some visual format. Are you guys clear? Yes, no? Please confirm. Okay. Now let's talk about the features of Power BI. So the features of Power BI, it's first being useful for connecting, transform, and load millions of data